Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge Chäos hat Noah. Und ja, es ist jetzt Zeit für unser Date mit Jua. Jua war doch. Fuck. Ich bin der Meinung, Jua war ihr Name. Shit. Yes, you fucking are. I turned to look at Misumi-kun, but he just grinned and gave me the finger. Honestly, I couldn't tell whether he was trying to pick a fight or cheer me on. I couldn't deal with his shit any longer, so I decided to just help and leave with Jua. Ich habe mich nicht im Namen vertan. Yes! Ist sowieso schon peinlich genug.
すいません。昨日会ったばかりなのにこんなお願いをしてしまって。
いや。
Oh, schüchtern. I was so nervous. I was leaving school together with a 3D girl. Was I normie now, or what? I had always felt like this was all in a completely different world from mine. I never would have thought I would get to experience something like this. But now I was feeling the intense pressure of your silence. We were just working side by side, not even talking, so why was this so stressful? And to top it all off, I didn't really know who you was or what her goal was. Just what did she want from an otaku freak like me?
おとといの。
いや。
She started talking to me out of nowhere, so I got surprised and that weird sound I had made just came out. You also seemed really nervous. Her expression was so tense. She was older than me. So how was she still so innocent? How surprisingly more. Then again, I probably wasn't the best person to be talking about innocence, since I could hardly manage more than quick sidelong glance at her. I was too embarrassed to take a proper look at her face. I just couldn't do it.
おとといのブラチュ見ましたよね。
うん。
私一箇所だけいまいちよくわからないところがあったんですけど、すすぶくんがセイラちゃんのピンチに駆けつけてきて助けてくれますよね。でもどうしてすすむくんはセイラちゃんが危ないって分かったのかなって。
あれは、先週の回に伏線があったんだ。セイラの剣が一瞬だけ挿入されてて、着信表示で進むの名前が出てる。
そういえばそんなシーンありましたね。
山田はそういう細かい伏線をあちこちに貼るのが好きなんだ。キンゴルでも似たようなことをやってた。
Cool.
山田くキンゴル
山田っていうのはブラチューの監督の愛称で、山田がブラチューの前に監督やってたアニメがキンゴル。
へえ、じゃあ山田さんって有名な監督さんなんですね。
まあ僕は好きな方かな。なんでかっていうと。
Oh, wie geil. Oh, wie knuffig irgendwie. I had been lecturing in you about the various facets of anime when I realized we were already in front of Animate. The time flew by faster than I had expected. I had let myself get carried away and talked way too much. Well, it didn't help that Yua was such a good listener. She paid such close attention while I shared my wisdom. I couldn't help but want to tell her everything I knew, even though I knew I was falling right into her trap. All this, and yet I wasn't even good at talking. This was the first time I'd ever felt this way. I was talking out loud, but it felt like I was chatting online. It was a strange feeling.
なんだかドキドキしてきました。
Oh man.
先に帰ったりしないでくださいね。
Oh, wie geil. You only got me more and more nervous as she went up and spoke to the store employee. It was clear that she wasn't out of her comfort zone, but all I could do was just stand there and watch as she placed the pre-order for the post-awakening version Sarah figure. There weren't any opportunities to escape. You kept glancing back at me, so I couldn't budge an inch. Right after that, she even forced me to look around the store with her. You was looking all around with a big grin on her face, saying things like, wow, there's not enough money in the world to buy all these figures. But even in the face of all that enthusiasm, I just couldn't find it and me to smile back at her. So apparently Yua took the train to school, which meant I had to accompany her all the way to Shenzhen station. She might not look like it, but she was a devious one, alright. She always managed to get away, all without making herself look even remotely selfish. Clever girl, talk about a wolf in sheep's clothing. Ja, Wolf in Schafspelz. Irgendwie ist, glaube ich, jetzt meine Stimmbänder, glaube ich, gerade etwas komisch.
西条くんって携帯は持ってないんですか？
Once we had reached the station, Nia suddenly asked me that question. A cell phone? I shook my head weakly.
持ってないんですか？それじゃ連絡が取れないですね。
連絡
Why the hell wouldn't she want to stay in touch? What was she going to demand that I texted her about every little thing for the rest of my life?
でも西条くんパソコン持ってましたよね。私も持ってるからメールアドレスを交換しませんか？
どうして
そのフィギュアの発売日に取りに行かなくちゃいけませんよね。その時にまた一緒に。まだ一人でアニメ8に行く勇気はないから。
She was good.
それに
She was way too good.
私西条くんと
I knew she had her claws in me, but I just couldn't turn her down. If I did, I would look like the bad guy.
もっと
3D was the scariest fucking thing in the world.
仲良くなりたいから。
How was she doing this? Was it just because I was bad at talking to people, or was she just too good? Either way, yours seemed intent on not leaving until she had my email. Yet at the same time, I could sense a bit of unease behind those glasses of hers. I could practically feel my will to resist draining from my body. There were goosebumps all over my body, shivers running down my spine, but I couldn't run away and I couldn't turn her down. There was definitely something up with Yua. This aura she had, it wasn't normal. I couldn't really put it into words exactly what it was that bothered me so much, but whatever it was, something wasn't right. Before I knew it, I had torn out a scrap of notebook paper, written down my email address and handed it to her. Naja, sie weiß auch, wo du wohnst, also. Loswerden wirst du sie sowieso nicht, wenn du Pech hast. She took it, looking happy as can be, then quickly bowed her head and disappeared into the station. It felt like my soul had left my body. I just stood there, completely dumbfounded. Even after 10 minutes passed, I couldn't move an inch. So what do you make of all of this affair? Because personally I don't have the slightest clue. There's no way she doesn't have ulterior motives or something. It doesn't make any sense otherwise. Hey, you listening, Gwyn? What eroge is this? That night I decided to consult Grim about Dior. I figured I might as well. If I just kept my paranoia to myself I wouldn't get anywhere. And that was the response I had gotten, where not like I could blame him. The first time I'd spoken with you, I reacted the exact same way. It was stupid of me to think you would be any help, Grim. No, wait a fucking second. You were being serious? You actually managed to raise a flag with someone? Oh, you really have a way getting whatever you want, huh? Now, who said you weren't into 3D? Again, laugh my fucking ass off. It's not like that, dude. Grim's reaction was almost identical to me, Sumiko. Were they the same person or something? Well, for you, Turbo Virgin, like a night tat. Now that you have a girl, it should be easy to leave Otakudom behind and loosen your virgin card. You gotta be careful though, like if you start talking to her about your school swimsuit fetish, she will dump your ass. So use common sense. What's wrong with a squish from Shoot Fete?
ボケなす
Alter, das ist ja mal ein geiler Maze und you've got the mail, you big dum dum. Das ist ja mal ein richtig geiler Maze-Sound. This guy is hopeless, I would better do something quick. Out of nowhere, hit Sarah Tan's voice. It was my custom email notification sound. I went to check my email and the sender's name was Kusunoki Yua.
うわ、早速来た。
I got an email. Just now. Whoop whoop, that is. This was the first time I ever gotten an email from a 3D girl. I got and clicked to open it. Good evening, this is Kusunoki. I sent this email as soon as I was able to. I would appreciate if you added me to your address book. My apologies for making you accompany me today. Sorry, even so I still had a lot of fun, perhaps because it was my first time going out to a store like that, or maybe it was because Nishichukun was with me. What time will you be coming to school tomorrow? I'm only asking because I was hoping I would be able to say hello tomorrow morning. That's all. It would be nice if we could run into each other again tomorrow. Well, be sure to email me again soon. Good night. Okay, good right habe ich gerade kurz gesagt, aber da steht bei der Wahrscheinlichkeit good night. We as usually elegance and purity shown through the email. And by using a lot of emoticons, she gave it a bit of a friendly tone too. But when she said things like maybe it was because Nichikun was with me, or I was hoping to be able to say hello tomorrow morning, I just couldn't help but feel like she was up to something. Post it. Ey, nein, sowas macht man nicht. It's tame. Chill the fuck out. Just do the greetings and shit. Whatever, but just post. Good evening, this is XXX, and I sent the email as long as I was able to. I added me to your address book. My parents are making a company, even so I still had, perhaps. Or maybe because, what time, also, Oh. Would you look at that lovely Tavi? And then, please take this seriously. This must be some kind of trap. Yeah, how tight that tinfoil that you got on? You sure you're not overthinking this? It just looks like you raised a flag with this chick to me. You're almost too good to and that's what I mean, there's no way this is real. You think this could happen to an otaku freak like me? There's no way to think a cute girl would try to pick me up in real life. Dude, no. You seriously complimenting your girlfriend already? Could you quit trolling for 1 second? Come on, I already told you. You're just overthinking it. We're two of a kind, aren't we, Nightheart? We both know good girls that like this, that they don't exist anymore. Yeah, I was fully aware. But she really was just that nice. And that's exactly what didn't feel right to me. Well, maybe her stalking set went a bit too far. But that's kinda a hot don't you think? What the fuck? It means she really likes you. And you said she likes anime too. Yeah, no way that's a perfect girlfriend exists, bro. Not for us otaku anyway, love me. Just don't get running with or you degenerate. Ruining her with your degenerates nicht running. Well, that might be not so bad. No, scratch it. That was exactly what I wanted. Did she up? She made the first move, bro. I'm not into 3D. You say that, but we both know you really wanna go out with her. Am I right? If you wanna have the otaku for yourself, no, it's a chancellor. You won't get the second one and you know it. Congrats, you're popular now. Won't last long, so don't let it go to waste. Just keep calm and go on the attack. Just be Nightheart in real life. You can do it. I got the green light, bro. If I couldn't just do it, I wouldn't going through. Like, I had realized something when I was talking with you the other day. Sure, there was a couple of moments where I had fun or felt happy, but aside from that, I just felt like annoyed and completely exhausted. If that was what I had to go through with every ARL interaction, then I had honestly rather just live in the 2D world where I could do whatever I wanted. And that was why I decided not to reply to yours email. Oh. Jetzt kommt das schon. A fire burned bright into the sky. Scorching red cinders danced around the incinerator. The flame was fueled by a sailor-style school uniform, along with countless textbooks. On a foothill overlooking the Seto inland sea, a girl stood in her home's garden. The steam whistles of boat echoed in the distance, and the nearby trees gently swayed in the refreshing sea breeze. In the midst of that scenery, serene scene, the girl, Orihara Kozu, stood still and alone in front of the incinerator, bathing in the somber ambience of its cinders. The girl's gaze was locked onto the school uniform and textbooks as they were slowly reduced to ashes, each becoming clad in crimson glimmer. Until only yesterday, they had been her school uniform and her textbooks. Despite having lit the fire safe, the girl did not move from the spot, perhaps out of the lingering sense of regret. That too lasted only a moment. She suddenly knitted her eyebrows and covered her ears as hard as she could. She gasped in agony, and yet she did nothing more. The girl did not moan, nor did she raise any tearful complaints. All she let out was a series of ragged breaths. She shook her head repeatedly from side to side, as if to express a fierce, visceral objection. And as she did, her strength slowly started to crumble, and she collapsed to the ground. She fell back on her backside with a thud, and let her jaw drop as if utterly exhausted, and looked up to the sky with a dazed expression on her face. Minutes later, she was still in the exact same position, not having moved a single muscle, until suddenly she turned around with a conviction as if she had heard someone's call out to her. She looked towards the house's porch. The wooden house had been built over 50 years ago, so despite it being daytime, it appeared quite dim. Anything beyond the porch could barely be seen. Kozu slowly stood back up and walked over to the porch, and at the very moment her mother appeared with impeccable timing.
あら、梢ちゃん、探してたのよ。もう荷物の整理はできたの？
Kozu promptly nodded and slowly sat down.
あさってにはもうこの家ともお別れなのね。
Her mother took a seat next to her, gazing toward the inland sea with a gentle look in her eye.
東京なんて行くの、梢ちゃんは初めてよね。いいお友達ができるといいわね。
Despite her mother's caring words, Kozu did not nod, nor even shake her head in response. She simply remained silent, gazing wistfully towards the still burning incinerator in the corner of the garden. Another week came, and with it another school day. As usual, I headed to school with my head hung low as the pistols. Autumn was starting to come into full swing. The leaves of the trees in Shoto Park were slowly changing color, and I was starting to feel chilly in my short-sleeve uniform. I suppose it made sense that I would be surprised by the change of season, given I rarely went outside in the first place, as they hadn't really registered that summer had ended. My weekend had consisted of non-stop ESO. Grim had kept on bugging me about Yor, but I had just ignored him. I hadn't gotten an email from Yor since that first one. I hadn't replied to her first one either, so maybe she had finally given up on me. I really hoped that was the case. Whenever I talked to Yor, my feelings always jumped up. Those interactions almost made me have a little hope. But there was no point in being so optimistic. At the end of the day, I was just an otaku freak. My whole life. I had never ever had any success with 3D. Sure, I'd just given up on it. Please don't give me any hope. Please don't have any hope for me. Just as I thought that someone tapped my shoulder from behind. I figured it was Nanami or Misumiko, but when I turned around I was shocked.
西条くん
Nope, it's Yua. Yua was looking at me with a smile on her face. Her cheeks were a little flushed. Why was she so out of breath?
後ろ姿が見えたからもしかしたら西条くんかなって思って走って追いかけちゃいました
Had she really not given up yet? Did she still have some hope left in me?
おはようございます西条くんやっと言えました土日を含めて4日もかかってしまいましたけど先週メールを送ったんですけど読んでもらってます
Did you read it? I found myself nodding out of reflex.
よかった返事がなかったからてっきり届いていないかと思って何度か送り直そうとしたんですけど我慢しておいて正解でした
Seriously, what the hell did you want from me? Did she expect me to like her back? Did she want me to be her boyfriend? And then did she want us to live out some intimate lovey-dovey fantasy together? There was no way I could do that, no way I could be that normal. No matter how hard I tried. I really wanted to, but it wasn't possible. But it just wasn't possible. I still didn't understand why you even liked me in the first place, which made it all the more impossible to trust her. So I just couldn't do it.
西条くんどうしたんですかずっと立ち止まってるので
Upon realizing that, I quickly started to walk away, leaving Yua behind. But before I could get very far, Yua had already caught up with me.
昨日西条くんのクラスに行ったんですけどいませんでしたよねもしかして風邪でもひいて休んでるんじゃないかと思って心配だったんですでも元気そうでよかった
たまにしか
はい
僕たまにしか学校来ないみんなから引きこもりって思われてる
Oops. Did that break the spell? You are totally disillusioned now that you know the truth, right? If so, I didn't mind. I had never gotten my hopes up anyway. Go ahead and call me an otaku freak, and then after that, never talk to me again.
そうですかでも今日は会えてよかったです
I was left speechless. All I could manage to do was stare at Yua's smile, but when our eyes met, I got flustered and looked down. How was she not disgusted by me?
っていうかたまにでも学校に来てるなら西条くんは引きこもりじゃないと思いますすいません分かったようなこと言っちゃって
でも苦痛だよ
だとしたら偉いです
I never thought I had ever hear someone say that to me. What the hell was respectable about a total loser like me? A gentle smile had spread over Yua's face, a smile so sweet it could cure any disease. That was genuinely what I thought in that
だっ
moment.
て西条くんは辛いのに頑張って学校に来ていますから普通なら普通は来られないですよ
でも僕はオタだしキモいし
私西条くんの話を聞くの好きですよ
Oh, what's in the hell? What was with all this validation? Why did hearing it make me feel so good about myself? It felt like Yua was embracing me all the way down to my core. Like she was giving me the right to be here, to exist in this moment. It felt like when I was with her, maybe I could even be a normal person again.
大変予例ですよ
I hadn't realized until now, but almost all the students were already gone. Everyone had made their way into the school.
西条くんそれじゃあ私失礼しますあ今日の放課後時間ありますかもしよかったらその一緒に帰りましょう
Oh, cute. The timid tone Yua mumbled her words, a faint blush on her cheeks.
放課後 中庭で待ってます。もし気が向いたら来てください。無理に来なくても全然平気ですから。失礼します。
Adorable. You abode elegantly, then darted off towards the third-year classrooms. I watched her disappear into the building, then I pinched my cheek. It really wasn't a dream or a delusion. Kommt das jetzt endlich, worauf ich schon seit einiger Zeit warte? I couldn't focus. Ah, nee, kommt immer noch nicht. On my class all day after that. However, I didn't bother trying to focus. I just rested my head on my hand, staring sluggishly into the autumn sky outside the window. My teachers, my classmates, none of them ever paid any attention to me. But you did. You was different from the other shitbags at the school. I couldn't stop thinking about her. I couldn't stop having delusions about her, and before I knew it, classes were over for the day.
よ、タク。今日もデートか？この前のメガネのことはうまくいってるんだろうな。
Alter, ey.
おいおい。ニートだからって躊躇してんなよ。向こうがお前のこと気に入ってくれてんなら、付き合うか付き合わないかはともかく、やっちまうのが礼儀。
そんなことしないよ。
おい。なんだよいきなり大声出して。
岩とはそんなことしない。
あ？お前まだ言ってんの？なんで最初から諦めるんだよ。そろそろ引きこもりから卒業しようぜ。
僕は引きこもりじゃない。
And that wasn't even what was this about. But there was no point in trying to explain that to Misumi-kun, a guy who only fought with the wrong head. So ignoring how puzzled Misumi-kun was, I quickly made my way out of the classroom. The shortest path from here to the courtyard is through the skyway to the third-year building, and then down the stairs, I think. I didn't come to school often enough to have a good grasp on the layout. I didn't even know where half of the clubroom was where. So I was a little bit anxious as I walked down the hallway to the next building. Ooh! Hi! Die finde ich auch sehr geil. As I walked, I noticed a girl standing alone in the middle of the hall, staring up at the sky. Her face looked stiff, so despite her looking out the window, it wasn't in the wistful kind of way. She was obviously in everyone's way, but she didn't seem to care in the slightest. I know you can hear me walking toward you. Move along, will you? I'm in a bit of a hurry here. I was getting real dookie and I swiped from a douchebag swipe, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So I tried to keep my distance and slip by girl B without getting noticed. Oh. Oh shit, was she talking to me? Fuck. Was she gonna threaten me and take all my money, or take me to the Dukin as hangout spot and have me lynched just because he didn't like my face, or worse? Give me a fucking break, what had I ever done to deserve this? I looked toward girl B, she was staring at me.
お前誰だ？
Did she just ask me that? I needed to talk to me, but this is the first time I've ever spoken to her, so obviously she wouldn't know that. So I was right, whatever she wants from me, it can't be good.
すいません。
I quickly bowed to avoid looking girl B in the face and ran away as fast as I could. After bolting through the hall down the stairs and out the door, I shot a look behind me at the third-year building. It seemed like the scary girl hadn't come after me. I was safe. To be completely honest, I was getting tired of all this bullshit. Wherever I went in the third dimension, I was always running into another goddamn trap. I took a second to catch my breath and then looked for the courtyard. The courtyard was between the school building and the pool. It was so narrow it was more like a path than an actual garden. There were a few evenly spaced flower beds spread across the courtyard. Ah ja, stimmt. The violet-colored flowers were especially eye-catching. What kind of flowers are those? I wondered, but I really didn't have a clue. And standing in front of the flower beds was none other than you. She stood still gazing at the flowers listlessly. Just like she had promised, she had really waited for me here. She had waited for me, and me alone. Yua hadn't betrayed me. Maybe I could trust her. Maybe she really was the savior I'd been looking for. Yua looked up and noticed me standing there. And a moment later, her eyes widened. I got shy and looked away, frozen in place. Should I walk toward her? I didn't know. Why was she so surprised? Maybe I shouldn't have come. But I was lost in thought. Yua ran over to me.
びっくりしました。
え？
西条くんが本当に来てくれるなんて。どうせ来てもらえないって諦めかけてたんです。
Oh.
でも待っててよかった。
I was taken aback. Yua was thinking the same way as me. We both had the same pessimistic mindset. But there was one clear place that we differed. Whenever I had negative thoughts, I would freeze up and do nothing. But whenever you had negative thoughts, you would take action anyway. I seriously respected her initiative. I want to be like that too.
一緒に帰ってくれますか?
She timidly asked me and I nodded in response. Und ich würde sagen, an dem Punkt beende ich jetzt auch diese Folge. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.